comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Podcast. I am DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady's replacement, Robbie D.
And in today's podcast, like Robbie D actually mentioned, MD Shady isn't here today, unfortunately, due to work scheduling conflicts. But Robbie D here, saving the day yet again, making an appearance here on a Funko Podcast. If you're going to comment something today, let us know how you think of Robbie D here today on a Funko Podcast, because if you enjoy Robbie D, maybe we'll have him on more editions of a Funko Podcast in the near future, especially for one of our fandom related podcasts in June. He's already going to be a co-host alongside me for that. So if you guys don't know about that fandom related podcast, we will talk about Funko Fair 2022 reveals, day 2 to 4, since last week we did discuss about day 1. And then we have the top 10 Funko Pops of February 2022. So it's a jam-packed podcast, even for Robbie D to be joining on also. So without further ado, because this is a jam-packed podcast, we've got a lot of pops to talk about, we will kick off by discussing about day 2 of Funko Fair 2022 reveals. Kicking off, Funko had announced first a pop of Frank Zappa from the Pop Rocks lineup, which is expected to release as early as April 2022. Then they had announced a pop movie posters of Jurassic Park, the original movie featuring the T-Rex and the Velociraptor pops, which that is expected to release as early as July 2022. Up next is a pop for a new set of deluxe pops for Avengers Infinity War, which the first pop featured is Star-Lord, which this set will be a Walmart exclusive and is expected to release as early as June 2022. Then we got an announcement for a new Parks and Recreation pop, which is a 2-pack of Jerry and Lil Sebastian, which this is exclusive to Target. Unknown of when this is releasing because Target likes to not announce when things are being released right away. Then we got ourselves the third out of 4 pops involved in the Buyer's House Pop Deluxe set exclusive to Amazon as a part of the Stranger Things set, which of course is of Will Byers, which this is available for pre-order now and is expected to release as early as May 2022. Then we got a new wave of NASCAR pops, which this set we have ourselves common pops of Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, a Jeff Gordon pop rides, Dale Earnhardt Sr. with a blue and yellow attire, and then we have a Fanatics exclusive Dale Earnhardt Sr. with the black attire, in which these are expected to release as early as April 2022. Then we got ourselves pops for the Disney Plus series Star Wars Visions, which we have ourselves all of them being Target exclusives of Car. And then we have ourselves the Ronin Pop and T bundle, although there is also the deluxe pop, but that was already pre-announced by Funko. And then the last announcement for day 2 of Funko Fair reveals, we have ourselves a pop albums of Iron Maiden's Power Slave, which that is expected to release as early as April 2022. And because you are the guest co-host of this podcast for today, we'll have you start off on your opinions of these day 2 reveals for Funko Fair 2022.
I have no idea who Frank Zappa is. I'm assuming he's like, well, you said he was in the Pop Rocks lineup, so I imagine he was like before our time, possibly, or like.
I think, yeah, he's way before our time. Like, I think he's like 70s, I believe.
Okay, so I mean, for those that are a fan of this guy, I mean, this will probably be a huge get for those people. I do like the design of this figure. The character looks nice with the detail of the hat and obviously the outfit. There's not much I can say when I don't know about a character. So I will move on to the Jurassic Park cover here. I do like this one as well. The fact that the Velociraptor looks like is getting bitten is a nice touch, I believe. Funko is getting really creative with these covers, and I think it's good on them. Next, we'll move on to the Avengers set here with Star-Lord, I believe you said. I do like this. I can't wait to see what else is added to this set with the 6 connecting pieces. This is the first of 6. Yeah, good on Funko for making sets like this as well. I'm sure that there is a lot of fans, not only of the Avengers, but collecting sets like this. Next, we'll move on to the Parks and Rec. Something I haven't watched, but I do like the little Sebastian. I think that Parks and Rec will be something that I will add to my watch list at some point. Yeah, these pops look really good. Moving on to the Will Byers Pop Deluxe from the Byers House set. We already got the Demogorgon and the Upside Down 11 as well. Really, really nice figure. I do like this pop. Moving on to the NASCAR pops, I do like the Jeff Gordon as well as the Dale Earnhardt pops. Those are my favorite NASCAR drivers out of the set that has been announced. I do like, I can't remember the name you said for this one with the Dr. Pepper outfit on, but it's a nice one. Gotta love Dr. Pepper, right? The Star Wars Visions pops. Another series I have not watched and probably won't plan on watching. I don't got much to say. The Pop and Tea looks really nice. These other two that were announced first, I mean, for Star Wars fans, obviously this is probably a get for them, but not for me. Moving on to the Iron Maiden pop album cover of Power Slave. This looks fantastic. Love the detail. Love the fact that it gives off, obviously, the vibes of like ancient Rome, or not ancient Rome, but ancient Egyptian times, rather. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, I love the album covers. I love the covers in general. They're getting very creative over at Funko. Moving on to the, hold on. Was
Yeah,
that
no,
it for?
yeah, that was it for day 2. Yeah, you almost went through the whole list. All right, guys, Tokyo Ghoul. Let's not talk about DK's opinions on this. All right, kicking off with Frank Zappa. I agree with everything you said pretty much. Decent amount of detail, especially with the hat. I know there's a lot of Frank Zappa fans, especially in the comment section during the social media posts from Funko. I'm sure that this is going to be a decent seller. The Jurassic Park pop movie posters is really cool. I know that a lot of people are really excited. And my only gripe, though, is how expensive it is. But it does make sense because you're actually getting 2 pops in the cover and not one like you normally do with these covers, because I think it's now $70 Canadian instead of your regular 30 because you get 2 pops involved with it. Then we got ourselves the Infinity Wars deluxe set, which there are 6 pieces. And I only watched Infinity War once in preparation for Endgame. So it's been a while since I've seen Infinity War. However, I do think this is going to be a pretty decent set. And obviously we got Star-Lord, and assuming that this is going to involve a lot of members of Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's probably going to be a Drax. There's probably going to be a Groot, maybe a Rocket Raccoon. I don't exactly know, but I think this is going to be a pretty decent set overall. Then we got ourselves the Parks and Recreation 2-pack of Jerry and Little Sebastian, and this is pretty sweet. We have our first ever Jerry pop, but this is our second Little Sebastian pop because of the fact that we already had a normal Little Sebastian pop during the very first wave of Parks and Recreation back in 2018. So I guess it's cool that they're making it a 2-pack in case also people missed out on the Little Sebastian, but this also goes along with a scene later on in the series of Park and Recreation. So it's cool that they ended up making this, I guess, scene into a 2-pack realistically. Then we got ourselves the Stranger Things Build a Scene Buyer's House Pop Deluxe set, which of course we knew that we're going to get Will. And obviously the last one that's going to happen is the Hopper. But I mean, I don't know. I felt like as terms to a Funko Fair reveal, this was a little lackluster because I would have already expected this as a normal Funko post on a random day instead of during a full week long of crazy reveals. Then we got the NASCAR pops, which these are pretty decent. I'm excited that they are still making the pop rides portion because the last one we got and the only one we had gotten before this Jeff Gordon one was the Dale Earnhardt Sr. exclusive to Walmart. But now we have one of Jeff Gordon and it is a common, which this is really cool. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be buying this. This probably easily is the best pop of the entire set, besides maybe that Fanatics exclusive Dale Earnhardt Sr. Then we got the Star Wars Vision pops, which I still have yet to see Star Wars Visions. I do plan on seeing Star Wars Visions, but I think the detail are pretty cool with the 2 characters on the first photo. So I'm excited to see also the idea of what looks to be a clear lightsaber, or it's super light blue, but looks clear to me. And then we have the Ronin pops, which we have already, the deluxe pop, which I won't go into detail at all because we already discussed about that in a previous episode of a Funko podcast. And then we also have the Pop and Tea bundle, which simply is just taking that Ronin pop from the deluxe and making it a singular one if you didn't want the droid with it, which is meh. The t-shirt is cool, and I can only imagine the box is okay since now they do those designs of just a square with the window to show what the pop looks like instead of what they used to make with Pop and Tea bundles. And then we got ourselves the Power Slave pop albums, and this is great. lots of detail. You kind of get a 3-for-1. Normally on the podcast, we like to mention about 2-for-1 deals, or as Funko likes to call it, poppin' buddies now. You got 3-for-1 where you got the main Egyptian pharaoh essentially on the side of the pyramid there, along with the 2 smaller ones that look like pocket pops, but they are added to this, which it's a big bang for your buck because I think it's still the normal pop album price of, once again, I think 30 Canadian, I believe. Although I know a lot of people are still hoping that Funko makes a pop album of Iron Maiden's, I guess, single, The Trooper. So hopefully we get a pop of The Trooper in the near future, whether it's singular form or in the album form like people want. I guess just like last week we had started, after talking about each day, we will mention our favorite and least favorite of each of these days, which I guess I'll start with mine. My least favorite, I will start off with, will probably have to be the Ronin pops for Visions, just because we've already seen those pops. It's nothing new realistically. And then my favorite has to be the Power Slave pop albums, just because of the amount of detail involved with it.
I'm going to agree with you on the favorite. I think Power Slave is my favorite of the announcements for day 2. Least favorite, I was going to go with the Star Wars Visions as my least favorite.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to day 3 reveals from Funko Fair 2022, which kicking off, we have a new set of Tokyo Ghoul Pops, which, pardon my pronunciation of some of these names, have not seen the series. For common pops, we have ourselves Kuki Yuri, Hasi Sasaki, Psycho Yonabashi, and then Toru Musuki, with exclusive pops of Jinshi Shizaru, which will be a specialty series exclusive. And then we have ourselves a glow-in-the-dark version of Hasi Sasaki, which will be a Sure Things Toys exclusive, which these are expected to release as early as July of 2022. Next up, we have the next pop involved in the Sinister Six Beyond Amazing Pop Deluxe set for Marvel, exclusive to Amazon, in which it is a Vulture, and this is expected to release as early as May 2022. Up next, we have ourselves a glow-in-the-dark Loki with Scepter from the Avengers, which will be an Entertainment Earth exclusive, and this is expected to release as early as June of 2022. Then we got ourselves blacklight variants of Marvel characters, which all of them will be exclusive to Target, which we have ourselves a blacklight variant of a 10-inch King Killmonger, Falcon as Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Kate Bishop with Lucky the Pizza Dog, Sylvie, and we have ourselves a regular 4-inch King Killmonger that will be a part of a Pop and Tea bundle. Then we got ourselves a brand new wave of WWE Funko Pops, which we got ourselves common pops of Dude Love, Alexa Bliss with a 1-in-6 black attire chase, and Bianca Belair, along with, I guess I should mention for the common set, is a John Cena versus The Rock pop in-ring moments. Then we got ourselves exclusive pops of a Shawn Michaels and Triple H D-Generation X 2-pack, a Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash New World Order 3-pack, and we have ourselves Roman Reigns Pop and Tea bundle, which all 3 of those that I mentioned are going to be exclusive to Walmart. And I guess I should have mentioned also the new Alexa Bliss with Lily, which will also be exclusive to Walmart. Brock Lesnar, which will be exclusive to Amazon. A Cactus Jack Pop and Pin bundle, which will be exclusive to GameStop. A Mankind that will be a part of, I guess, this huge lunchbox kind of collector's items, along with the Mr. Sacco's, the pin, and the lanyard, also exclusive to GameStop. And then I should also mention also the metallic Razor Ramon, the Undertaker in the casket, and the Eddie Guerrero in Lowrider Pop Rides will also be exclusive to GameStop. And these are expected to release as early as April 2022. Then we got ourselves a new covers of Pop magazines, which is based on the NBA Slam covers for this time around, which we have pops of Allen Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Vince Carter, which these are expected to release as early as April of 2022. Then we got ourselves another, I guess, covers, which these are of Pop trading cards, which all of these are for NBA, which we got ourselves LaMelo Ball, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, Zion Williamson, and, oh geez, here we go, Giannis Antetokounmpo, which these are expected to release as early as July of 2022. And then last but not least, we have ourselves a brand new wave of MLB Pops, which we got ourselves here Francisco Lindor of the New York Mets, Jose Altuve from the Houston Astros, Mookie Betts from the Los Angeles Dodgers, Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres, Shuhei Ohtani from the Los Angeles Angels, and Max Scherzer, oh God, botched that one for sure, from the New York Mets, in which these are expected to release as early as July 2022.
So we'll start off with the Tokyo Ghoul Pops. I got not much to say. This is a series that I haven't watched, probably don't plan on watching. I'm not a big, I mean, I can't say I'm not a big anime fan. There are a few animes that I have watched before, but I've got no opinions on. I do like the glow in the dark pop though. That is one thing that is the takeaway from this set. Next, we'll move on to the Beyond Amazing set that has Dr. Octopus and as well now as the Vulture that was announced. Absolutely love this. If I had to guess some future pops for this set, I think we are probably going to get a Spider-Man pop or two in this set, possibly. Maybe not two, but I definitely think there will be a Spider-Man pop to come. Moving on to the Loki pop. I would like to see this in person glow in the dark before I make an actual opinion on this pop. I do like Loki as a character. Moving on to the Infinity Saga, a lot of great blacklight pops in this set, but I think my one favorite is the Poppin' Buddy. I do like the pizza dog that goes along with the pop there, so that looks really nice. I'm liking more and more of the blacklight pops that come out. Now moving on to a set that I really love to talk about. We are talking about the WWE pops. You and I are both WWE fans. I know your favorite, which you'll probably talk about later on. Definitely the Dude Love. My favorite out of the first set of this huge announcement for WWE Pops, obviously, Alexa Bliss. We're getting a new Alexa Bliss pop with a 1-in-6 chase of her attire that she came out of the box at WrestleMania in that match between Orton and Wyatt. And we got Bianca Belair. They did a really fantastic job. They got the braid, they got the outfit perfect. Love this set already. We're moving on to the Walmart exclusives of DX, and then we've got also the New World Order. Funko, you're breaking our bank accounts. The pop and tea of Roman Reigns, absolutely fantastic. Acknowledge the tribal chief. And how about this Brock Lesnar? The current Brock Lesnar with the ponytail kind of thing, the little, hairdo going on, his outfit of basically, we'll call him like Farmer Lesnar. And then we've got this Alexa Bliss with Lily pop. I'm speechless with these pops, man. Like, they are so good. Moving on, we've got Cactus Jack with the pop and pin and his Royal Rumble outfit. He's carrying the trash can. I know a lot of people are going to be hitting up GameStop and pretty much pre-ordering all of these GameStop exclusive pops because they all are pretty amazing. We've got a Common Rock and John Cena at a WrestleMania moment in the ring. Again, amazing. I like the idea. I like the concept of pops that are like, kind of in the ring. And then we're moving on to the Mankind with the lunchbox, the socks, the pin, the lanyard, and the pop itself. So much detail into all of this. I absolutely love this. I cannot say that enough. And then obviously, I think some of my more favorite announcements coming up in the last bit of this set of announcements for WWE. We've got the Metallic Razor Ramon, as you said. But then the two that really, really stand out to me is I know I said really twice, but The Undertaker in the casket and Eddie Guerrero in his freaking lowrider. Absolutely love these pops. Funko, you did a fantastic job. Moving on to the NBA Slam covers. Vince Carter, absolutely love him. He was one of my favorite Raptors players growing up. Then you've got Shaquille O'Neal and, of course, Allen Iverson. We've got some legends. I think this is a very creative idea with the Slam covers. Now, moving on to the trading cards. And here, I'm going to probably say that starting out, Steph Curry actually kind of looked like, to me, the pop figure itself looked like Klay Thompson, actually, and not an actual Steph Curry pop. But that is just my opinion. I think this might have been actually like a younger Steph Curry, possibly. I don't know. I just think this doesn't look like Steph Curry. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's a great player, plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. Zion Williamson. And then looking at the other cards, we've got Luka Doncic, we got LeBron James, thumbs down, and we got LaMelo Ball. I do like the idea of these covers and these trading cards. These are pretty nice overall. I know for the collectors, whether you're a collector of pops or trading cards, you're going to want to collect these for sure. And then finally, we're ending off with the MLB Pops. I was wondering when I first saw this announcement why Max Scherzer has two different eye colors, but that is because he does have two different eye colors, apparently. I've read comments. I mean, for the pop's sake, it looks a bit weird with two different eye colors. These MLB Pops look pretty wicked.
Kicking off with the Tokyo Ghoul pops. These are pretty detailed. I think like a lot of anime pops overall are pretty detailed as it is, although I have not seen Tokyo Ghoul myself. Maybe I'll watch in the future. I don't exactly know. There's still some animes that I do plan on watching, but I don't think Tokyo Ghoul is on top of that. Then we got ourselves Vulture as the next announcement for the Beyond Amazing Sinister Six set, which I think is pretty obvious when originally Dr. Octopus was announced, and you've seen all the silhouettes that, like, who else is going to fill that silhouette besides Vulture? Like, what other character? I don't think any. You knew it was going to be Vulture. And I think some of the other characters are pretty predictable, but overall, I can't wait to see the rest of these get announced because I do want to know where they're going with this Sinister Six Pop Deluxe set. Then we got ourselves Loki. This is pretty sweet. Like, the overall detail, obviously, of Loki is awesome. I think it's one of the best Loki pops that Funko has done. My only gripe is why waste it being glow in the dark, because it even says that the only thing that glows in the dark is the little blue dot on the scepter, and that's it. So I feel like, okay, there are people out there that think, okay, that's cool. But like for me, like, not often do I actually go and look at the pop and be like, oh, wait, I need my black light. Let me go charge this up and glow in the dark. So like, even for this, it's like, like it didn't need to happen. But I mean, it's cool that it happened for the people that might actually get picky and be like, yeah, you know what? I would like for this to be glow in the dark. Then we got ourselves the Blacklight Marvel Pops, which these are all pretty decent. I don't know yet my opinion about like how the colors are. Like, I think like some of the colorways are a little weird, but maybe that's also in a good way because it's like different from what we normally see with the Blacklight Pops. Here we go. WWE Pops, Straight Fire. Kicking off with Dude Love, which will be my favorite of the commons and possibly my favorite overall in this entire set because I've wanted a Dude Love pop since I started collecting pops. And it's cool that we do have a Dude Love pop now. I think my only gripe, if I do have any gripes with this, is I wish they added a mouth to this. The Alexa Bliss pops are absolutely awesome, especially because everything about the common and the chase is entirely different. Different hairstyle, different face paint, different posing of the attire, even the way the feet are, because like she's more of like curtsying during the common, but then she's standing still for the chase. This is how you do common and chases, people. Bianca Belair's pop is pretty cool. I think she's definitely deserving of a pop. She's done super well. I think the only gripe about this pop, and it's only a minor gripe, is that I wish she was holding her hair. Then we got ourselves the Triple H and Shawn Michaels DX 2-pack, which, ladies and gentlemen, we finally have Triple H and Shawn Michaels DX pops that look like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and not Shawn Michaels looking like early Triple H and Triple H looking like Sami freaking Zayn. The NWO 3-pack is absolutely awesome too. This totally is based off of the NWO's return in 2002, right after the Invasion storyline had ended. And I think these are fine. I mean, people would probably talk about how they're not wearing their in-ring attires, but if you want them in their in-ring attires, go get the Razor Ramon and Diesel Chase pops and the 2K15 exclusive Hollywood Hogan pop that we were already made if you want that. But this is totally fine. Scott Hall is in the perfect pose that he should be. Kevin Nash standing still is totally fine because he doesn't really do much anyways, besides Terrace Quad. I mean, what? But the Hollywood Hogan is also pretty decent. There's a couple gripes with this. First off, I kind of wish he was holding the weight belt. Hogan's known for the weight belt and kind of playing air guitar with it. And my second gripe is the fact that I felt like, and once again, this is minor, but I think the 5 o'clock shadow on his face should have been a little bit darker. I think it's a little bit too blonde, in my opinion. Obviously, if you see Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the only thing blonde is his handlebar mustache, and the rest is like straight up brunette, close to black. The Roman Reigns pop and tea bundle, I think it's pretty decent. I'm not surprised they're pumping up Roman Reigns pops. He's the head of the table. He's the tribal chief. And I think a lot of people, including myself, pointed out how for some reason, like the pop on the t-shirt looks more like Seth Rollins than it does Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar with the ponytail, sweet. I love the idea that they did this. Alexa Bliss with Lily, which I'm so heartbroken on trying to figure out which Alexa Bliss is the best out of the three because they're all straight fire. In my opinion, better than the original Alexa Bliss, which I actually do think that Robbie D does own in his collection, actually, which I think they did a great job, especially the detail of Lily. I think this is fantastic. The way they did the eyes, the way they did the hair, the way they did everything. This pop is great. I might consider getting this in my collection. Not entirely sure yet. Cactus Jack with the trash can, and it's a pop and pin. This is pretty sweet. The Rock and John Cena in-ring moments. The other one was a little cooler because you had Hollywood Rock and Stone Cold, but then this one is based off their WrestleMania 28 match, which I think it's okay. I'm going to call it Lunchbox Collector's Box, I guess. This is really sweet. I don't think I'm going to get this, honestly, because I'm really like towards Dude Love. And I feel like if I ended up getting the Mankind 2, then that would lead me to get the Cactus Jack, because why skip out on like the Three Faces of Foley and get 2 but not get 1? It just doesn't make sense. So I'm just fine with just getting Dude Love being a common. But this Mankind is pretty sweet. We already had Mankind before, but that was in the 2-pack with The Rock last year. And we have more of original Mankind, where he would be sitting in a boiler room with a pet rat. And then the last set of GameStop exclusives, Razor Ramon's okay, but we already got Razor Ramon, but it's a more of a metallic-y updated attire. The Undertaker and Coffin, which I will 100% be getting because I have already every single Undertaker pop that Funko's made. So I might as well just keep continuing that. And I like the idea of how this is actually a 4-inch pop and not a deluxe pop, because now it'll be the regular, well, it's an exclusive, so $19.99 price for exclusive pops over at GameStop Canada, but I'm still going to get it. And then Eddie Guerrero. This is a long time coming. Everyone has been wanting an Eddie Guerrero pop rides for I don't know how long, even like back in the day when first looking at social media posts for announcements, people were like, let's get Eddie Guerrero with the lowrider. And then they gave us normal Eddie Guerrero. And it's like, okay, that's okay. But I mean, what if we got Eddie Guerrero with the lowrider? And now we have it. Now we're going to the slam covers. These are pretty decent. I like this idea because it's a new way to do new poses for sports pops instead of your regular dribbling a ball, shooting a ball, Michael Jordan slam dunking. So especially with the Shaquille O'Neal, because on the cover, he's got his hands kind of like almost zombie-like with the one basketball in his hand. And then you got Vince Carter, which now, as I realized, I forgot that Vince Carter was a part of the Raptors. I don't follow basketball all that much, so I totally forget these things. But this also would be the first time, and it's been kind of a dream, that we have 90s Raptors jersey in Funko Pop form, which actually makes me more excited about this pop to see it in person. But the trading cards, however, I like the concept. I see what they're going with. They're doing, once again, poses with what's based off the trading card. But there are so many trading cards, so Funko could literally just keep doing this line forever. But I feel like at the same time, trading cards would have been better if he did these with pocket pops, because already you can just grab a trading card that would be equivalent to like the scale of what this pop trading cards is, but in pocket pop form, because already a trading card is super small. So then to have the pocket pop would be equivalent to the size of what we're getting here. This is just an oversized picture of what the trading card looks like. And then we got the MLB pops, which there's nothing really to discuss about because it's the same thing I say with all the MLB pops, where it's just the same regular poses and they don't really do much. I think the only brand new pose they might have had, and they might have already done it, is in the bottom middle. But I guess because we're done with day 3 reveals, we might as well discuss what our favorite and least favorite from day 3 reveals, which my least favorite, oh, wow. Okay, maybe I can go overall set. I'm going to go with the MLB pops. And then obviously it's got to be from the WWE set. That's my favorite. But which one's my favorite? Probably the Dude Love.
My least favorite, I'm going to go with the Tokyo Ghoul set. Favorite, obviously, we know this already, is the WWE set. But if I had to choose one specific out of the set, honestly, I think I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss with Lily.
Are you looking for great pop protectors? Then look no further than popbox.ca. They have a variety of 4-inch and 6-inch protectors in different quantities. Do you want to get 10 protectors, 20? You can get even up to 250 pop protectors over on popbox.ca. And also use our promo code of Funko Popcast for 10% off of your entire purchase of pop protectors. The code is going on until supplies last. So go get your pop protector needs now over on popbox.ca using our code of Funko Popcast to get 10% off.
And let me tell you guys, we're not just screwing around here. These are some great pop protectors. We own a multitude of these protectors. They are some of the best I've seen. Stop buying from EB Games. I'm not boycotting EB Games by any means, but their pop protectors are not as good. So again, use code of Funko Popcast for 10% off.
All right, so moving on to the last day of Funko Fair reveals that happened on February 18th. So kicking off, we have ourselves pops from the anime Black Clover, which we got ourselves Noelle, Asta, and then we have a AAA anime exclusive of Luck Voltia, which has a 1 in 6 glow-in-the-dark chase, in which these are expected to release as early as May 2022. Next up, we have another set of Marvel Mech Strike Pops, but these are a part of a new set called Marvel Mech Strike Monster Hunter Pops, which we got ourselves common pops of Doctor Doom, Green Goblin, Loki, Thanos, and Venom, along with exclusive pops of Wolverine going to the Funko shop, Black Panther going to Target, and then we have ourselves Walmart exclusive pops of a 10-inch Venom, a glow-in-the-dark Green Goblin, and then a Spider-Man, which will have a 1-in-6 glow-in-the-dark chase. And these are expected to release as early as August of 2022. Then we got ourselves the first pop announced for a new covers lineup called Pop VHS Covers, which will be exclusive to Amazon. And this is Simba on Pride Rock from The Lion King, in which this is expected to release as early as May 2022. Next up, we have ourselves Cheshire Cat standing on head from Alice in Wonderland, which this will be a pop in a box exclusive and will have a 1-in-6 chase that has both flocked and glow in the dark specification added to it, in which this is expected to release as early as July of 2022. Next up, we have ourselves a pop game covers, and it's of Crash Bandicoot, which will be a GameStop exclusive, and this is expected to release as early as June of 2022. Next up, we have ourselves a brand new set of Pokemon Pops, which we got ourselves Piplup, Leafeon, Lapras, and a 10-inch Lapras exclusive to Target, which these are expected to release as early as May 2022. Then we got ourselves a set of Artist Series Darth Vader Pops, which one will represent Hoth, Bespin, Endor, and Mustafar, which these will all be exclusive to Walmart, and these are expected to release as early as June of 2022. Next up, we have ourselves the second of 3 pops involved in the Duel of Fates Pop Deluxe set exclusive to Amazon, and of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in which this is expected to release as early as June of 2022. And the last set of reveals for Funko Fair overall, and before we do our top 10 list, we have ourselves a wave of pops for Fairy Tail, which this set has common pops of Urza Scarlet, Jalel Fernandez, Mijane Strauss, Laxus Drayar, and Mavis Vermilion, along with an FYE exclusive Gray Full Buster, which these are expected to release as early as May of 2022.
Okay, so again, Black Clover is something I have not heard of. I do like the glow-in-the-dark chase out of this set. It looks really nice. Moving on to the Mech Strike characters, I love the Green Goblin, and I do love the Spider-Man out of the set. Simba on Pride Rock. Now, this is a much older Simba as in the terms of the pop rather than the cover, which is obviously young baby Simba, where you've got Rafiki going yeet. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do like this pop. I think it is a really nice pop, and I do like the idea of VHS covers. But my only gripe, like I mentioned, is it is a much older Simba pop. The Cheshire Cat, I do like that. Like when I was just looking at this pop when DK was talking about it, the fact that we're getting a glow in the dark and flock chase specification there. Really nice touch. The picture of it looks really nice. Seeing it in person, on the other hand, would also be something that I would like to see for sure. The Crash Bandicoot, I feel like obviously this would be one that you are excited for, DK. It is a nice looking pop as well. It's got that little like mask on it. It's a really nice touch. I've played the game, but I mean, it's been a very long time. So obviously there's not much more I could say about this pop other than the detail is pretty cool. Now moving on to another set I absolutely love talking about. We've got Piplup, we've got Leafeon, and we've got Lapras from the Pokemon sets here, and also a 10-inch Lapras going to Target. Amazing. That's all I can say. Love the Pokemon pops, and I'm glad we're not getting another Pikachu or another flocked variant or another metallic or silver, like Bulbasaur, Charmander, whatever. We're getting new, fresh faces. We're getting new Pokemon with this announcement. Absolutely love it. Moving on to the Darth Vaders, I think my favorite out of that announcement was probably the top one there with like the white outfit and the kind of like light blue eyes there. Moving on to this next Star Wars announcement with this 3-piece set here. You said it was...
It's called the Duel of Fates Pop Deluxe set.
And the character?
The character is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan, right. See, Star Wars... as Dylan has mentioned in a past episode of a Funko podcast, I've only watched 30 minutes of A New Hope. So, I mean, we've got what? Darth Maul in the center? Tell me if I'm correct on that one, at least.
You're correct on that one, actually.
Okay, well, this set is going to be interesting to see as a full set. We'll move on to the last set of announcements, which is the Fairy Tail Pops. And again, something I haven't watched, probably won't plan on watching, so I've got nothing to say there. But these pops look all right, I would say.
All right, kicking off with Black Clover. These are pretty decent. I mean, I'm going to say the same thing that I said with Tokyo Ghoul. Like all anime pops, they are pretty detailed. And I like the kind of difference involved with the common and the chase version of that AAA anime exclusive. I think that's pretty decent. Would like to see it more in person, considering these are more concept arts rather than actual glam shots. The Marvel Mech Strike Monster Hunters. These are pretty decent. I actually like these versions better than the original Mech Strikes that were announced last year. I think the way they made the characters this time around are much better than what we usually seen, especially with Venom. Looks absolutely sweet. And the Wolverine and Black Panther. All these characters they did a great job on, especially I'd love to see how that glow in the dark turns out for the Green Goblin. We got the pop VHS covers of Lion King, which I know a lot of people are excited because of the fact that it's Lion King and it's a very popular Disney movie. And I feel it's a little weird that they made pop VHS covers because it could easily just go along with like the pop movie posters. But at the same time, I feel like I mentioned in previous videos, this might be a thing that's just for Disney movies, or I should say also Pixar movies also. So if they end up ever doing a Toy Story covers, and it's for VHS covers, so it would have to be 1 and 2 since 3 and 4 been made in DVD at that point and not on VHS. I would have to cop for it. But this Lion King one is pretty decent. I think they went the right route with the older Simba because although people did want Rafiki holding younger Simba there, I felt like it would have been a little bit difficult to like kind of move the arms there and kind of actually hold Simba up there. But overall, I like the idea. I want to see what the other two are before it because this is number 3. Maybe number 1 is Toy Story 1 and number 2 is Toy Story 2. That would be pretty fantastic. Then we got ourselves Cheshire Cat with the flocked and glow-in-the-dark specification chase, which that's pretty decent. It's the first time I can remember that there's been 2 specifications on one pop, like flocked and glow-in-the-dark. This is really sweet. However, I do feel that there's a little bit of bad hype because of the fact that it's a pop-in-a-box exclusive. Pop in a box isn't the greatest at shipping pops, especially if you had gotten a chase and then it's just completely damaged, then that would really suck. Unless, of course, you're an out of box collector. But I mean, if you're an in-box collector, like a lot of people, then essentially you'd be really mad about that. And to answer your question earlier, you're damn right. I'm excited for this Crash Bandicoot pop game covers. Always love me some Crash Bandicoot pops. Always loved the game. We even did a fandom related podcast back in September for Crash Bandicoot. And the fact that they actually were able to execute the first game cover somehow is awesome because originally I thought with a lot of these covers, they would have to go kind of directly with what the cover was showing there. But now that we have Crash Bandicoot with Aku Aku on his face is awesome. Makes sense. It happens in the game when you break the boxes and you get the Aku Aku kind of infinite health there for the certain amount of seconds. Really awesome. We have the brand new wave of Pokemon Pops, Piplup, Leafeon, and Lapras. I can say I don't have to say the 10-inch one because that's already like the same as the 4-inch, except a bigger size. This, in my opinion, is better than the announcement we got earlier in the month with Alakazam, Sylveon, and Lucario. I think these are super fan favorite Pokemon. A lot of people have wanted a Lapras pop. There's a lot of people who want Piplup. And then I think Leafeon is a pretty fan favorite evolution. And I do like the Leafeon much better than I like how Sylveon had ended up turning out. And I was actually surprised to see that more people had hype for Piplup rather than I thought there was going to be a majority hype for Lapras. But then, of course, like all Pokemon posts, a lot of the hype is, when are we getting Gengar? When are we getting Snorlax? When are we getting Infernape? When are we getting Ditto? When are we getting this and that and this and that? We got the Artist Series Darth Vader pops, which, yay! Artist Series that look like art. Oh my God, Funko, you did it. Oh my God, they did it. They actually did it. I see the art in this and I can't believe it. If I were to choose a favorite and a least favorite, I'll say the Endor one, which is on the right there, is my least favorite. And I would like to say my favorite is either the Bespin or the Mustafar one. I'm going to have to say Mustafar because of the fact that I have a weird feeling that the Bespin one, although it's part of an iconic scene, it looks so good in the glam shot that it's going to look so terrible in person because of how stretched the photo is going to look on that Artist Series pop. Well, I feel like with the Mustafar, where you have the lava and the rock there, that essentially like it's not going to look as bad when it's in person. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a part of this 3-piece set for Duel of Fates. This is great. I'm glad that they announced Obi-Wan Kenobi at this point because I feel like it was the more highly anticipated one since this is the very first Obi-Wan Kenobi pop from his younger days from The Phantom Menace, where he has the short hair with the little braid there. Really cool. And I can't wait to see the announcement of Qui-Gon Jinn, obviously, is the last one to go with this scene. One of the, easily, in my opinion, the top 5 best lightsaber duels in the entire Star Wars franchise. Don't even at me on that. This is great that they're making it into a moments, essentially. Then we got ourselves the fairy tale pops, which I guess I will say once again, like I said, with Black Clover and Tokyo Ghoul. Very detailed because all anime pops are detailed, which now leads to favorite and least favorites of day 4 before we move on to the top 10 Funko Pops of February 2022. My least favorite pop, I guess I'll say the Endor Artist Series Darth Vader. And then my favorite of this has to be the Crash Bandicoot pop game covers, by far.
I'd say that my least favorite, it's kind of a toss-up, but I'm leaning more towards the fairy tale set. For my favorite set, I'm going to go obviously with Pokemon.
All right, so now we're going to move on to our top 10 list of Funko Pops for the entire month of February 2022. As terms to next week when we do the update, when hopefully MD Shady will be back at that point, he will do his entire top 10 list at that point instead of him doing an update, because realistically, we'd already talk about all of February by the time we make it to the update. We'll obviously kind of go the order that we usually go with. So normally it would be MD Shady. So this time it's Robbie D and his number 10 pick.
Coming in at number 10, I decided to go with Leafeon. I was going to put Piplup on this list, but I like Leafeon. They did a really fantastic job with this Leafeon pop, very detailed.
Coming in at number 10 on my list is the Be Real as Dr. Green Thumb from Cypress Hill, announced during day 1 of reveals. I think that was a pretty detailed pop, although I don't have much of a personal reaction because I don't listen to Cypress Hill.
Okay, coming in at number 9 on my list is the Roman Reigns that comes with the Pop and Tea bundle, the Walmart exclusive. I really think that this is a fantastic pop. I do agree with you now, looking more at the photo. I do think that the character on the t-shirt does look a little more like Seth Rollins, especially with, the lighter bit of skin tone, I guess you could say, with it. But other than that, this is a really cool looking pop.
Coming in at number 9 on my list is the Walmart exclusive D Generation X 2-pack. What a wicked 2-pack. Looks like Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And this is how the DX 2 pops should have been made in the first place, as a 2-pack and not singular pops. These are really cool pops of the WWE wave. However, there was a bit more hype as terms to other WWE pops rather than the D Generation X, which is why it's a little bit low on my list.
Moving on to my number 8, I decided to go with the Vince Carter slam covers. Big fan of Vince Carter, big fan of him in the dunk contest back in the day. He did play for the Raptors in the 90s. And yes, like you mentioned earlier in the podcast, he is wearing the 90s Raptors jersey, which is absolutely phenomenal. I did love the purple Raptors jersey. Absolutely phenomenal. Love this pop.
Coming in at number 8 on my list, it is the Hot Topic exclusive Nelson Muntz from The Simpsons. I think they did a great job with this pop. The facial expression, him pointing the finger, that obviously meaning he's going, ha ha. My only gripe about this pop is what I hoped had happened with the pop, but didn't. And that's the fact that on the top flap, it didn't say, ha ha. And that would have been an amazing touch. But overall, great amount of detail. And also, it was posted by Hot Topic, and there wasn't really hype to go off of. So I had to put it really low on my list of how I do this top 10.
Moving on to my number 7 pick on my top 10 list. I decided to go with the Will Byers Pop Deluxe with the Byers house scene there. I do like, obviously, the fact that you've got the alphabet letters in the back on the wall. You've got Will Byers. I mean, like you said earlier, there wasn't much hype you felt with this Will Byers pop. I had to put it on my list. I'm a fan of Stranger Things, and Will is one of the main characters of the show. So I had to go with Will Byers.
So coming in at number 7 on my list, it is Knucklehead from Five Finger Death Punch. I think the detail of this pop is awesome with the skeleton head and essentially what they did with the eyes and part of the forehead there of the skull, I should say, with the handprint that says number 5 and the brass knuckles in the mouth of the pop. Just absolutely awesome. And I hope that Funko ends up making more Knucklehead pops.
Moving on to number 6, it is the first crossover between our top 10 lists, and it is Nelson Muntz from The Simpsons. They did a fantastic job, Funko, with Nelson. Nelson is a great character.
Coming in at number 6 on my list, it is Lucario from the Pokemon lineup. I think they did a pretty decent job on Lucario. Not one of my favorite Pokemons, but one of essentially like my favorite Pokemons announced during this month. And I think they did a decent job with the posing and especially how they had pulled off kind of like the black eyes, but still had the black fur with the two different shadings. I think they did a great job. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to buy that pop, of course.
All right, so moving on to my top five, and you're not going to believe this, but it is another crossover, and it is Lucario. Now, Lucario happens to be one of my favorite Pokemon. I wouldn't say it's in like my maybe like top six of Pokemon, but it is up there. And you already went into detail about it, so that's where I will leave it at.
All right, coming in at number 5 on my list, it is the TargetCon 2022 exclusive Becky Lynch with belts for the WWE lineup. Very surprising that for TargetCon, we got a WWE pop. And I think they did a great job with this, obviously commemorating her WrestleMania 35 win of becoming Becky 2 belts. And I will for sure be getting this because I already have the other 2. Might as well get the other one to have a full complete Becky Lynch set of pops.
Moving on to my number 4. I'm going to a pop that was one of your favorites that were announced during the Toy Fair, and that is the Crash Bandicoot pop. Absolutely love this pop. I absolutely loved playing the game when I was younger. Great looking pop, great detail. Not much more I could say on this one.
Coming in at number 4 on my list is the Power Slave pop albums from Iron Maiden. The detail on this is great, and I think that's why it made it to the top 5. I don't really have much of a personal reaction because I don't listen to Iron Maiden all that much.
And nice segue into the top 3. We'll start off with my number 3 pick on my top 10 list, and that is another crossover between our lists, and that is Becky 2 belts. Absolutely love this Becky Lynch pop. Absolutely amazing moment for her at WrestleMania when she won that main event against Charlotte and Ronda. Absolutely amazing pop overall.
Coming in at number 3 on my list is the GameStop exclusive Crash Bandicoot pop game covers. And this is fantastic. I already went into detail of why I like this pop so much. But the only reason why it didn't make, let's say, a number 2 or a number 1 is because not a lot of people were talking about this, especially because a lot of the bad hype as terms to Funko Fair reveals was everyone commenting, when are we going No Way Home Pops? When are we getting No Way Home Pops? No Way Home Pops? No Way Home Pops? I hate when that happens. So that screws up essentially the way I do top 10 lists. Nonetheless, I knew it had to make at least the number 3 spot of a top 3 portion of this top 10. So Crash Bandicoot, let's go.
Okay, coming in at number 2. I'm going with Simba on Pride Rock, despite my gripe about it being much older Simba pop. I think this is a really creative idea with the VHS covers, but like you mentioned, there's got to be like a 2. I like this pop, looks nice.
Coming in at number 2 on my list is the hippest cat of the land, Dude Love. Ow, have mercy. So much detail on this pop. I love the posing that it's in. And once again, my only gripe was involving the fact it didn't have a mouth, but realistically, pops don't have mouths as it is, at least the majority of them. But the way they did the hair, the glasses, the headband, and the t-shirt, really awesome. Can't wait to obtain this pop in my collection because it's a need.
And moving on to the number 1 pick on my top 10 list, I'm going with Undertaker and Coffin. Absolutely amazing. And, you know, it kind of has that sense of satisfaction that he was announced as being the first inductee into the 22 Hall of Fame. And of course, you meeting him in person. Overall, I just think that there's a great connection with this pop.
And coming in at number 1 on this top 10 list has to be the GameStop exclusive Eddie Guerrero and Lowrider pop rides. What an amazing pop. It's something people have been wanting for such a long time. And the fact the detail's great. Him standing on the car. He's not sitting on the car doing his signature Viva la Raza pose. And it's probably like the most hyped out of all of the pops. More people were talking about the Eddie Guerrero pops than they were talking about, unfortunately, Dude Love, which is my personal favorite, Undertaker and Razor Ramon and all the other pops. I think Eddie Guerrero really stole the show, Lie, Cheat, and Steal for not only the WWE set, but essentially Lie, Cheat, and Steal, or Lie, Cheat, and Stole, realistically, his way to the number 1 spot of my top 10 list so far, because we still have the update next week. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this week's edition of a Funko podcast. If you enjoyed this special edition talking about the top 10 pops and featuring Robbie D as co-host, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let us know your favorite pops from February 2022. And also, like I mentioned earlier, let us know your thoughts on Robbie D on a Funko podcast. Make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Podcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's edition of A Funko Podcast, and we will hopefully see you guys next week featuring MD Shady back on A Funko Podcast. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Keep on popping.